Well, welcome to this week's video. Certainly a bit of a dull start to the day. Not as a lovely sunrise as we had the last couple of weeks. Bit of rain, not as much as they'd predicted, forecast anyway, but still just a bit of a dull start. Managed to get a few fallow deer, but nothing like the previous weeks. Was a bit disappointing. It's going to be an interesting weekend. I'm going to have to leave about sort of 3 o'clock today. I've got to get back to presentation evening for Rebecca where she works, so we need to get back for that. And for the rest of the weekend, which is quite nice, is Denise got a 60th birthday present to go down to Port Linth. So we've got a weekend down there, staying overnight and around the reserve there. So that's going to pretty much take up all of the weekend. So it's going to be whatever I managed to capture this week. It's going to be a really short video. I won't have time. I won't be taking my laptop with me. I won't have time to edit it. So if I do capture anything this afternoon, it will just be a little bit of a taster. And then maybe if I do manage to get a reasonable amount, I'll sort of put it into the following video. So yeah, I suppose in a way, really, nice relaxed weekend away from the editing process would be quite nice, and I think she's really looking forward to it as well. So just ordinary photography around the sort of reserve, so that'll be quite nice, and I think we've got tea as well, afternoon tea, so that should be pretty good. So hopefully get back on it next week to a sort of regular length of video, so let's see what comes. I found it's surprisingly quiet in respect to number of deer. About previous couple of weeks, been quite a few fallow deer. Whether it was the slightly damp start to the day had an impact, uncertain. Walked around most of the morning, just seeing odd ones or twos of the fallow. And just on the left-hand side of the front bush here, you can just see quite a mature buck, but he was rested there most of the morning. My initial impression, it was the same stag that we saw last week, but on closer inspection, I think it's a different stag. It has 14 points. I believe last week the stag had 12. But he moved off quickly across the heath and jumped quite athletically into the enclosure. And resting in this clearing is by far the most mature stag I've seen this rut. Difficult to say, but it looks as if it's around sort of 18 or so points. No hinds, but I'm sure he'll certainly get involved in this year's rut. So that's it, back to the car. Short but sweet episode this week, but it was really quite nice to see that mature stag with, well, 2 or 3 other stags as well. No accompanying hinds, so it looks as if it's all still to play for, as it were. Still, I guess the next week or so they'll really start to get going. But it's been a lovely day. Fortunately we didn't have that rain, so quickly sort of chop this together first thing tomorrow morning before we go. Denise has been really looking forward to this present, so yeah, it's a photography session for her. I expect she'll probably fire off a few hundred photographs, knowing her. So we'll have all that to look forward to editing when we get home. Well, I hope you join me next week when we're back to sort of back to normal length of videos, and yeah, let's see what comes.